Vinnie Iyer's looking at his watch and telling me it's Tebow time. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort with our NFL writer, Mr. Vinnie Iyer, and you say, wait no more, New York Jets fans. Put Tim Tebow on the field.
You've got nothing to lose. Your offense scored no points yesterday. You're not running the ball. You're not passing the ball. It's time for Tim Tebow. How worse could he do?
Possibly so you don't think he could do worse than Mark? You say he's going to run it better than Sanchez, obviously.
We know he's going to run it better. He's going to run it better than their running backs.
Worse.
He has their longest run of the season, 22 yards.
Now, but I take it from your attitude that you don't think this is actually going to happen.
No, I don't, because it's the script that you have to follow. Stick with your franchise, so-called quarterback, as long as you can. Okay, we're 2-2, but you got to look to the future. You're 2-2, but the two good teams you played, Pittsburgh and San Francisco, you didn't play very well. Guess what you have this week? Houston, undefeated, coming to your house with a great defense. Your offense is not going to get back on track with Sanchez this week.
The NFL is a funny game, but that looks like a beatdown from where I'm sitting.
Definitely. I mean, you got to mix it up. You got to change things, get a spark. Forget the stats. They're not moving the ball. We know that, but Tim Tebow can provide a spark. Right now, Mark Sanchez is going through the motions, giving them absolutely nothing. Their offense all around him is getting hurt. Put in Tebow. Let's see what happens.
What do you got to lose? Do you think he's on at all of a short leash on Monday night?
Sanchez? I definitely think so. I mean, you look at it, it's in front of a national primetime audience, Monday night. Sanchez has to come out there and do his thing. It's almost a must-win situation because you don't want to get under 500. The two Patriots games are coming up, and we know how the Jets usually fare against New England. Okay,
now let's look at the other side of the ball and talk about the Texans and the other 4-0 teams, the Atlanta Falcons, and obviously the Arizona Cardinals, a big surprise to a lot of us. Of those three teams, which is the best 4-0 team out there, Vinny?
Well, I think it's the Houston Texans. Sporting News pick to get to the Super Bowl and play the 49ers. We still like him. J.J. Watt is incredible. If you haven't seen this guy, he's wreaking havoc everywhere. He just drops everyone for a loss. He's swatting down everything with his big hands. He's your defensive player of the year. They're just such a well-rounded, clean team. You got Matt Schaub, Andre Johnson, Arian Foster, and then that defense, superb.
You know who that team reminds me of? The San Francisco 49ers.
A lot
I hate to say it, right?
You know, when you look at those two teams right now, they've got Arian Foster, Andre Johnson, Matt Schaub. Those parts of their offense make you feel a little bit better about the Houston Texans, and they're bringing it defensively. So right now they're the best team. Atlanta, we saw, got a little bit of a scare there from Carolina at home. They still have some kinks to work out. But Houston, they've been flawless, and I think that'll continue against the Jets this week.
And Arizona, a quick word on them. And what's your thought as far as longevity for that team?
Well, the thing that surprised you most, I think their defense was underrated, but I think they were going to be good on that side of the ball with all their talent. But Kevin Kolb has come through. Who thought he had this moxie? He was getting knocked down, 4.5 sacks by one player against him. He gets back up, throws the winning touchdown, and I think it will continue with their schedule.
All right, last issue, Vinny. The 3-1 Philadelphia Eagles, but you look at their games and you kind of wonder how they're 3-1. A lot of Eagles fans may be panicking a little about the style points, but they are 3-1. So assess where they are right now.
Well, they had the 1-point win against the New York Giants, but that's what you expect. A close game. This was the big win for them. I know they had some escapes early in the year, namely that Cleveland game in the opener, but this was an important game because Michael Vick protected the ball. They went back to the running game with LaShawn McCoy. Sure, they had to squeak out this victory because they could only get field goals and not touchdowns, but they cleaned up their act a little bit, so to speak. And you got the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. Steelers coming off a bye. Could be a tough game for the Eagles, but you like the fact that they're back to the running game, playing their solid defense, doing the little things that make them win in a championship team. And they corrected all their mistakes, so you got to credit Andy Reid, and if they keep that up going forward, they're going to be in the NFC mix just along with anybody else.
Yeah, and in a way, if you play some poor games but you still get W's, then that's gravy.
That's what you want to do in the NFL because every week is a grind. If you can get away with playing your worst and still get a victory and then come out and play your best and win an important game against a team like the Giants, the Super Bowl champs, it's going to give you a lot of confidence. And if they keep it up against the Steelers this week, watch out. I think the Eagles could get on a roll.
There you go. All right, for Vinnie Iyer, I'm Tom Vandervoort. We'll see what happens in the NFL this week.